Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Trailmakers, and today I'm going to be building what is essentially going to amount to a stupid vehicle, but I'm hoping it's going to at least be cool stupid and not just plain stupid. I was thinking about other modes of transportation in Trailmakers that I haven't spent a whole lot of time on, and underwater is a place we haven't really gone to in a while. And not only that, but I want to try a jellyfish-inspired movement method. The plan is to use, hopefully, the hydrodynamic water resistance to create a jellyfish-inspired underwater vehicle that basically moves itself along, kind of like a jellyfish, using that kind of like expanding and contracting method. I've made things I think that look like jellyfish in the past, but I don't know if I've made things, I don't actually remember if I made something that behaves like a jellyfish. So I have an idea of how this might work, and it's going to involve pistons, but I'm just not sure if it's actually going to work at all. So I'm gonna build a basic intro prototype, and we're gonna see if just the concept is even viable. Something I probably should do before I start recording, but you know what? Sometimes you never know how you're gonna fail, and it's good to get that on film too. Well, let's get building. I'll see what we come up with. Alright guys, so I have my first little prototype here, and I'm seeing some limitations with it that have actually made me come up with a new design after this that is going to just be more original, I guess, than based off of a jellyfish. It's inspired by a jellyfish for sure, but it's gonna be departing a little bit from a typical jellyfish. So this right here, you can see the idea of what I was going for. I wanted I was hoping that those paddles would have enough resistance to pull myself up. And then as I straightened out, I was hoping that the weight on the bottom was gonna have enough weight compared to the rest of it to push more forward rather than just staying in place, expanding and contracting. But as you can see, it doesn't really go far. Actually, I'm curious, if I turn it on its side, we're fighting gravity right now, but if we're not fighting gravity, how does it do? Alright, well, that doesn't really do much better, does it? It ends up facing us upwards anyway. So the issue I'm seeing right now is when we straighten ourselves back out from our contracted form, we just kind of, there's no resistance keeping us in the forward momentum, and we lose all of our forward momentum during that time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy this entire top section, and I'm gonna paste it on the bottom, and I'm gonna have them alternate when they expand and contract from each other. So that way the top will be open when it contracts, which should pull the bottom towards it, and then the bottom should open when it expands, which should push the top away from it, and we should kind of have like a weird jellyfish inchworm hybrid monstrosity. I don't know. All right, so here it is with the new programming, and I don't know why it's not working as well as I expected it to. It seems to not be working at all. So here, you can see how it's intended to function. And actually, I think we're making forward progress, but it's hard to tell if that's because we're actually fighting against the water or if we're just pushing ourselves against the ground. So you know what? Let's go up onto the surface. All right, now let's see if we appear to go in the direction that it's really, there's like, we don't, oh, where we go? Hey, there appears to be some level of momentum in the direction. This is actually looking kind of cool too, isn't it? All right, you know what? I'm gonna add more pistons. We're gonna make this thing a little bit longer, and I'm also going to increase the speed. All right, guys, check it out. We're actually getting somewhere. Like literally, we're getting somewhere. We're going across the ocean. It seems to be kind of working as intended a little bit. So now we need to figure out how to make it better, how to make it a little bit faster, and how to make it controllable, because I can't turn or anything like that. So I'm gonna do some fiddling around and let's see if we can improve this thing. Okay, I've made some tweaks. We're making progress. This thing is actually turning out to be a viable form of transportation. Not an efficient form of transportation, but viable, meaning if I wanted to go somewhere, I could go there. So check it out. So this is just not trying to do any of the controls I've added onto it. I've added pitch and roll. I did have yaw, but it was unnecessary. We don't really need yaw if we have pitch and roll, and it was just extra control surfaces that were just less stable. So you can see in the middle there's now this thing with servos. Also, do you notice how much more noticeable it is that we're moving forward? Like, it is way more noticeable now. And of course, we're getting underneath the thing. Hold on, let's respawn. Wait, how's this thing function on the ground? Okay. It goes backwards on ground. That is not what I was expecting. Well, we should be in the water in no time. There we go, perfect. Oh, we lost some pieces apparently, not perfect. All right, so check it out. Now, if I want to pitch down, I just go ahead and pitch down by bending the middle there. So we're pretty much just bending ourselves in a middle joint in order to pitch up and down. And then to roll, you'll notice the glowing blue fins. Those are tail fins. And if I want to roll to the left, you can see I'm doing a counterclockwise roll right now. And I just went all the way around. I colored the black fins to indicate which is actually upright, because otherwise it's really hard to tell where you're facing. And see, now I'm rolling to the right, and that's just done by these fins in the back right there. You can see they pitch up and down opposite each other, and that causes that causes roll left and right. And we also have them up in the front too. So two different sets of them causing that. So look at that, we're fighting gravity. We're actually going up to the surface. This thing's actually kind of cool. It's working. All right, but this was just the proof of concept now. Now that we have the actual proof of concept, I don't want to use these very flat, square-looking wings. I'm afraid that they're going to be the best, though, but I want to make this look a little bit cooler. So I'm going to make some more modifications and hope that we have a nice, interesting design. Because all I have to do is swap out the wings. All the programming should remain relatively the same. All right, guys, I've made some progress, so check this thing out. It looks kind of square and boxy right now, but once we start going is when you start seeing the real form and function of it. And we also are going faster, I think, than we were before. So, all right, here we go. We're gonna start enabling it. All right, so now you can see as this thing goes through the waving cycles, I've programmed all of those individual helicopter blades to kind of spread out like a flower almost to create a circular form. Now, the downside to this is that there's a lot of steering hinges on top of a lot of steering hinges, which causes this somewhat jittery effect, unfortunately, which it detracts a little bit from the aesthetic, but I think that, oh wait, this is weird. The cycle doesn't seem to be consistent between them. This isn't good. All right, well, I made another adjustment, and it appears we go, like, so much faster now. The speedometer breaks 100 on some of the extensions, which is really impressive. Oh, boy. All right, I have no I have no markers anymore telling me what's up or down. Hold on. Can I color, like, just the top fins or something? All All right, here we go. We're doing pretty well now. We still have our rotation, seems to be working pretty good. Here, let's go ahead and turn to the right here. All right, wow, we can turn really, really sharp with this now. The roll is a little bit slow, and that's because it's kind of like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because the fins, as they're getting pulled back, they're kind of fighting in the opposite direction when we're rolling. But as they go forward, which is our main direction of movement, then they turn us in the correct direction. So they turn us mostly in the correct direction, and then we go back just a little bit. But this seems to be working really, really well so far, as you can see. Like, just look at that horizontal movement that we have going on. All right, let's make our way up to the surface. Let's see how far we can get ourselves outside of the surface. Man, look at this. Yeah, now you can really see our speed. Holy cow! Whoa! I did not expect to be able to jump out of the water with this. Oh man, this thing looks even crazier on the surface. What? This thing looks, it went from peaceful to terrifying. Underwater, it's like a nice, peaceful part of nature. On top of the water, it's some terrifying thing from like a horror movie. This is super interesting though. I'm proud of this creation. This is a really nice creation. All right, guys, so I made a few more modifications that are mostly aesthetic, and I figured I'd go over here so we have more of like a visual reference of what's around us, and then hopefully we can see the real effectiveness of its ability to move and navigate. So I'm gonna try to go through underneath all of these different docks with all these poles to kind of show whether or not I can actually go in the direction that I claim to be going, rather than just letting it go in the open ocean. Oh boy. All right, this is actually, I feel like yaw would be a lot more useful. Just pitch and roll is making this seem a lot more difficult now, but I'm gonna try to go through the same parts of each dock. So as you can see, I'm trying to turn back toward this other one. The main difficulty here is that the roll is extremely slow and dependent on, I didn't even mean to do that. It's dependent on how fast we're going. So I can't really roll much. Oh boy. Oh, okay. All right. You know what? Perhaps it's not quite as controllable as I once thought. I'm trying to circle back around now. Oh. All right. Down. I kind of want to go. Okay. All right. You know what? We're just going to go. No, I'm going to stick with it. I'm sticking with it. Here we go. Yeah. And now we're going to go this way. Look, it's working. It's almost. No. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, and we killed ourselves. Okay. It's not the best. This isn't really the vehicle you want for getting places quick. This is where you want for kind of showing off and getting around in style. It's when you put all of your points into style and none of it into speed or effectiveness in any way whatsoever. I just wish I could rotate faster. If I put a servo on it, it would definitely be a lot easier, but I didn't want to use a servo. I wanted to use all hydrodynamic forces. I didn't want to have to use any type of like reaction servos or anything like that. But I mean, hey, the good news is it's a single button. You press a single button to go, and it's just WASD to pitch and roll. And as you can see, it clearly works to some extent, right? I love the way it looks when it comes out of the water, though. So let me know what you guys thought of this idea. It was totally random, I know, but I thought it might be fun to try out, and it was. And it actually worked a lot better than I even thought it would. So there's that. Hit the like button if you liked it. If you want to see more cool Trailmakers experiments like this, then you're going to want to peruse this playlist right here. In fact, maybe you can even watch every single video in this playlist. I challenge you. It'll probably take you quite a while. There's a lot of videos here. And if not, that's perfectly fine too. I mean, I'm not making you or anything. But do it.